Okay, here we are. We've been having a lot of different weather, and for those of us that are Omaha natives that have been here, uh, some of us like it a little bit hot, some of us like a little bit of cold. All of us don't get what we want, but here we are, back here with more than lyrics, where the weather is perfect, everybody's happy. It can't get any better than what's going on right here. I am Bobby. This is my man G, and we are working it out.
We working it out. That's right.
And Good Times is here with our guest. And this is a part two that's going on right now for some of you. And for some of you, this is just basically a continuation of what we've already been talking to. So if you could please introduce yourself one more time, and we won't, go back into your definition of the more than lyrics. But yes, please go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what's going on.
I'm Linda Jensen, and I lead a group here in town called Like-Minded Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I should also say that within that group, we have kind of a subgroup called the Impact Alliance.
Okay.
And that group is between our little group and our big group. We're planning some really important events in the next 30 days.
Okay. So it's very important that we're sitting here having these discussions with you. I would say definitely over the past few years, for myself, I haven't focused a whole lot on government and the government movements, and it just seemed like a lot of things didn't change my life for the better. And I've always felt like my opinions, or there's no actions that I could take that could have a beneficial reaction for me and my people, because everybody's looking out for them and their people. So I have always been used to not getting to the table and just having to accept what falls off and just trying to make the best of things. But lately, I think not just myself, but everybody's learning that we all have to have something to say, and things haven't gotten better, and people that maybe have an opportunity to step up to make the changes, that hasn't happened as well. And so you have a group where, and we've discussed a little bit, it's important to have a consolidation, to know where you can take some of your ideas, because sometimes you could be working in a direction that somebody else is already working.
Absolutely.
So with what you're working on, this could be a good start for a lot of people to go and start being part of a team, and then if even if you have some grievances, even to find out what can you do and where can you go, what resources can you use, because if we all fight for something, we all have to fight for a little bit of something to move us all forward.
Oh gosh, there is so much in what you've just said. Sadly, you're in good company with way too many people that have either set out and not voted, not participated, because it felt like, what difference does it make? And that's actually both urban and rural. The people in rural Nebraska think they don't matter because it's so red. If they think more like you and I, that like, what difference does that make? As we talked earlier, there's been so many things that have been so unfair to your community that gosh, at what point do you just kind of quit caring and disengage? And it's not to your benefit. And so that's also one of the things that we're looking really, really strongly at, is we need in order, like I say, we lost last time. We can't preach to the choir. we have to make our tent bigger, either with people that didn't vote and didn't participate, or with people who maybe, like you said, gosh, nothing was going right, I'm going to try this other thing for a while. So maybe they voted for the regime that we have right now, but now we're saying, oh man, I didn't vote for this. This isn't what I was promised. I wanted cheaper eggs. Do you still remember eggs?
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem like a world ago? Yeah. So we may have had people misled that now are like, I want to do something and I don't know how. So our message has to be that all of us have to get involved. What you do matters. We actually, as I mentioned earlier, we've kind of come up with keeping our messaging on working people, working families with affordability, accountability, and access to adequate health care. Not just health care that says I have a policy, but one that actually pays when you go to the doctor.
Right.
In doing that, we've brought in all the people that we can, and one was a former advertising and marketing executive. And so she came to one of the meetings where we've pulled together leaders of some of these different nonprofit groups that are working in this area, and we're trying to bring everybody together so that we can all put our best foot forward. And Tracy put together a pin for us. She put together a presentation that ended up with this pin that says, "Hear our voice." And it's not voices. It's the one voice of all of us saying, we need affordability, we need accountability, we need access to good health care. Those are the three things that we're staying on, and the whole message is about saving democracy. If we get leaders that are working for working people, we will have those things. We will quit taking away from the working and the poorest of all of us to give it to the richest of all of us who never have enough. I've said so many times, there's always enough to go around. There's just not enough to satisfy the greedy, the greedy few. So, you know, if you're not going to be happy, you may as well be mad while all the rest of us are happy. So we're going to fix that, but it's going to take all of us coming together. So all of us have to get out and talk to our neighbors and say, you got to come vote. It matters. It matters. We need you at a rally. Why does it matter? Well, it matters how many we have on the street. It matters to your neighbors seeing you there. It all matters, every single little thing that we do, and saying, what can I do? Can I help a neighbor get to the polls? Because ultimately, we get ourselves out of this problem when we vote. We've got to have new leaders. So we stop the damage in November, and we stop it, we do what we can. Actually, if we can flip both houses, we can do a whole lot. We can impeach and convict. So that's something to think about, who you want to vote for. Local level, and here's the trick, vote all the way down the ballot. It matters. It matters who we put on our school board, on our OPPD board.
And I don't think it used to, you know, I'm not the oldest guy on the block, but I remember a time when people could say, you know, over a cup of coffee, I voted for this, and I voted for this, and they laugh it off, and it's like, and they're still friends, and they're like, hey.
Anymore.
But I think the thing that matters, you have to keep an open mind, and you can't talk to somebody about something if you're not their friend. You know, if you don't like, I mean, you're basically saying, I don't agree with your opinion, so you have just become my enemy. And we can't get out of anything with that type of opinion. So everybody has to be open to the dialogue as to Facts have to rule the day. You can't simply say, I have this opinion and I feel this way with no factual evidence to back it up. Because then no matter who you vote for, you're saying, I voted for somebody that's going to make my life easier and bring my opinions to fruition, and I don't really care how it affects you. So facts allow us to say, well, I don't want to vote for that.
An understanding not only of the candidates, but of the base philosophy of the
Yes.
parties,
Yeah.
because they are very different.
Yes.
And it's easy if you talk to some, there's lots of people that understand this. In kind of in the interim between term 1 and term 2, we could say, I took myself on a self-led history reading course. Oh, it's amazing. You can learn a lot out there. And talking and learning and who you follow. Even we talked about the news.
Yeah.
And a lot of news has gone to independent stuff. I choose to primarily follow historians because they can not only see what's going on, they can relate it to past things and say, well, if you did this, this happened, and if you did this, this happened. And so you can really get a good understanding of it. And there's several good ones out there. Heather Cox Richardson, Timothy Snyder, Tad Stormer, gosh, many more. But they're easy to listen to, they're easy to follow, and you can get some good information that isn't right or left, it's just historical. Okay, so that's one piece. As far as coming together, what the guidance that we were given in saving ourselves from authoritarianism is the first step is build a huge coalition. The bigger, the better. It's my personal belief that I don't know if either of the parties that we talk about will come through this as what we know. Don't really care. I think it will be where right now we see it as red and blue, and you know, this side or that side. I think it may break down more to the MAGA faithful, that it really is very cultish and will believe whatever you say, and the billionaires or the ones that think they can play in that class, and the rest of us, what we call we the people. And so as we worked through that messaging, we made our little lapel pin that says, hear our voice. This is the message that we the people need to give. And the message is, we're saving democracy. We've got those 3 points: affordability, accountability, access to health care. That's all about taking care of the American public. That's all we discuss. When we're together, you may have, I call it passion issues. We all have them.
Yes.
We don't discuss them when we're together. And because every time you add one more issue to the table, someone peels off. And that's been a plan that's worked very well for very many years to keep us fighting among each other. Because if I add climate to the discussion, somebody leaves. Oh, those tree huggers. And well, if we can talk about climate, why can't we talk about women's health care? And then here comes Gaza and Israel, and here comes this and that. And we've splintered, and that's what we've been doing for how many years?
And that's like I was telling you, if you start bringing in everybody's grievances and you show up to a meeting and you think your grievance should be the topic, that's more
Not
of
gonna work.
you should go to something that already exists that's working on your
That's right.
your situation, or start it yourself, because we do have to address multiple problems.
Absolutely.
But you have to find that group of people, because if you can get like-minded people working on one problem, it's better to find a solution faster.
So as we say, as we're pulling this coalition together, we have a participation agreement. And it says we don't ask anybody to change their daily work because we're working with organizations that are in every one of those topics and a dozen more. We don't ask anybody to change their work. We want the best for everybody. We know that a major part of the population, we're not all going to agree on everything. So rather than splintering it up, we decide to agree on one thing, which is saving our democracy. And until we get that done, we set the other things aside when we're together. So go do your daily work. When you come together in the coalition, what we're doing is saving democracy.
That's huge.
And we give grace to the people whose mission may not align with ours. We don't bring it to the table right then. So, you know, ultimately, we're going to have in that room, we'll have Israelis, Jewish people, we'll have Palestinians. And we need to all still come to the table and respect what each other has to say and how we're going to make this work. But we've got to save democracy first. In my opinion, even on that issue, which is probably right now one of the most hot buttons, the best thing we can do for either of those cultures is replace the leadership that we have that is not doing well. So it still comes down to save democracy first. And if we save it and do it right and work together and say, I want what's good for you and everybody else at the table, we shouldn't probably end up with as many things to fight about when we're done.
When it comes to voting, just to kind of backtrack a little bit, you mentioned voting all the way down the ballot, and I mean I'm guilty of not. I actually wrote in a song that I don't vote, and you know it's just full transparency. But I have voted before, and there's a lot of names and bills and things that are on the ballot that I have no knowledge of. Could you share some places that people can go to get educated on these sort of things?
Absolutely. Well, number one, you can come to our meetings.
Okay.
We're every Monday night, and we don't have that all together. As a matter of fact, we made the decision, we're not touching anything until after the primaries.
Yeah.
So once we get past the primaries and we know, then we'll revisit how we're attacking the ballot. My hope is that somehow we can put, if we don't, either the parties will or the League of Women Voters, there will be places, and we'll help you get to there, where there's a whole slate of people, not just this candidate and that candidate and the other. So you need to know who those people are. Usually I try to stay, I'm independent, have been for years, so I try to stay where I can go. Right now, everything has been decided on party lines, and there's one that's caused a lot of problems and isn't standing up and holding their leadership accountable. So right now the punishment in my mind would be not to give them any power.
Yeah.
So I would vote a straight party ticket, just to say the most critical thing right now is we've got to cut off that power that's being used incorrectly. So we have to take back power wherever we can. All the way down. And what happens, the reason for that is, too late we've learned. That, like somebody said, and here's the best thing to remember, we are where we are because somebody was organized. Unfortunately, it wasn't us.
Yeah. Right.
So now it's time. We're really playing catch up, but we've got to get organized and get a plan and then execute it. And it's going to take all of us. It's going to take us working together. It's going to take us being at the table together and caring about one another and saying, I want what's good for you. I want our communities to be good and healthy, and there is plenty to go around.
So right now, speaking of all of us being at the table, we need to know where the table is.
Thank you. We meet every Monday night at 7 o'clock at the First United Methodist Church, 70th and Cass, so right across
Okay, I
from
know
the
where that's at.
Community Playhouse.
Yeah.
We'll be having a showing of Divisible. That's on Eventbrite. Tickets are required, but they're free. So we need to know when we've filled the theater. The same situation will be true for the leadership conference. However, it is reserved for leaders so that we can bring all of these diverse groups together. The rally will be the opposite, where there's only 500 tickets for those events. We need 17,000 at the rally in Memorial Park on May Day. It's going to take every organization sharing with their whole mailing list and everybody with their friends and family and saying, we got to be in this. It's time. If we're going to do it, it's now. If we're not, we're going to be in authoritarianism. And if you think it can't get worse, I don't know. I guess go visit the museums I just came from.
I did.
Just,
Yeah.
you know, you can
Yeah, I
get-
was. I've been to which one? I haven't been to the new the African American one. I was just in Memphis, and I went to the Civil Rights Museum with a group of friends, and I was a kid, and a lot of the things that I saw in there I could easily relate to, and I was reminding some of the people in the group. I was like, this wasn't prehistoric times.
No.
Like, this wasn't a long time ago. Like, my mom knows, water fountains that she couldn't drink from. My mother.
Your mother.
Yeah, I was a child, and there was places I couldn't go as a child. This wasn't like yesteryear and stuff like that. So
This wasn't 100 years ago in a
yeah,
place
not
far,
100
far
years
away.
ago.
No.
So
This is,
when people are saying, and part of this situation like we're in right now, I have a problem with people that it's almost like people are saying the answer to fixing the problem that we are in is like, go back to the good old days, go back to the way things were. Well, the way things were is how we got to where we are now.
Right.
We don't need to go back to where we were. We need to go to a time that has never existed.
that's correct.
And there's never been a time where all of us had the same opportunities,
That's correct.
which would change everything.
And that's what they're trying to sell, is going back to the good old days. And at first I thought they're trying to take us back to the 50s when, number one, women had no voice, let alone any people of color, and it didn't matter black, brown, red, yellow, and of course my favorite's purple, but they had no voice either.
Yeah.
They're not going there. They're going more like feudal days,
Yeah.
where families lived on the land. If grandma got old and sick, she got old and sick and stayed with you till she died, and the kids went and worked at the Lord of the Manor's place and for menial things, enough to stay alive,
Yeah.
never thriving.
Yes.
So they're selling you a past that never happened.
Yeah.
And we've got to create a future that we're going to make happen.
I mean, it's
We have to be
for
at
some
the table.
people it's a scary future, but if you have always lived if you've always lived where in your mind you've always known that if you stepped your foot in a certain direction that there'd be somebody waiting to shoot it off. There's a lot of people that have whatever they could imagine. Like when you tell your children you could be whatever you want to be. And if you have the mentality, like if you live in America, you could do whatever you want to do.
That
You
wasn't
can,
always,
but you can't.
yeah, that wasn't always very true.
Yeah.
And we need to make that true. We can, but it's going to take all of us working on it together. I guess I want to give a shout out to a group here that in my last year, I've been really focused on trying to bring the communities together. And so I've been going to meetings at the Empowerment Network
Oh, I love the
Okay,
Power
I'm
Network.
familiar with that.
and
Yeah.
met so many wonderful people and seen the work that they're doing and seen the difference on statistics and what they've achieved. It's taken years, but it's happening. We need to have more of that. And the reason I mention them is, you know, they've had such huge success in bringing down the gun violence statistics and had visitors from all over the country to come and look at the program, and many cities that have adapted it. There's no reason we can't do that here with our Future for Democracy. We can be the leaders that are saying, we're coming to the table, we're going to put this together, and we're going to show the world how to do it. If there's other communities around the country doing the same, great, let's see your plan. Let's put them together and let's make the best out of all of it. You know, we got a Warren here in town that was pretty successful being in Omaha too.
If things can happen,
no
it can
need.
happen in Omaha.
That's right.
Like there's, if you don't know Omaha history, it's not hard to find. We've done a lot, and we've been the mecca for a lot of different things throughout history. So if anybody can come together and move the needle, it's people in Omaha.
We need you, and we need everyone
And
coming in.
we've got to start wrapping. So I just want to make sure that people get your contact information. People want to reach out to you and get in touch with you and learn more about what you're doing. How can they reach you?
The easiest way is probably our website, likemindedfriends.org.
Okay.
There's a link on there for an email. If you send it, I will get it. You can comment on there. We also have a Facebook page, and come to our meetings. I want to meet all of you.
Can you share
Come
the
to the
information on
rally.
the meetings again?
Pardon?
The-
Yes, the meetings. First United Methodist Church, 7020 Cass, Monday night at 7.
Every Monday.
And see me at Memorial Park on May Day.
All right.
Bring your friends.
Yes.
Bring your friends.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your heart. These are some really serious topics that we shared, and I think that it's definitely an important conversation to have. So thank you for sharing that on our platform.
Thank you for having me. It's been a delight.
Awesome.
And
Yes, and thank
I'll
you
see
for
you at
not
the
giving
park.
up on hope.
no,
Yes.
Yes.
As we'll never be in a situation where we can't look forward and think that we be in a situation where we say we're powerless to change our situation.
but we've got to do it together.
Yes, and we have to do it
It's
now.
only when we come together that we
Yes.
have the power.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.